out of nowhere because you still have the Mountain Shocker. You still check where dudes are coming from.
Yep.
But those are two solid pickoffs that you don't know. You can't always just rely on the Mountain Shocker. So Virtus.pro have to play with eyes behind their backs, behind their heads. They have to put their head on a swivel and make sure that, oh wow, interesting. Oh well, they do have kind of like a revitalize, like a makeshift revitalize with the motivation roar.
I'm not too sure about the Minotaur. Feels like he's kind of double dips onto two, tankiness and healing. Not great at both.
Yeah, so that is an unknown factor. A lot of things we're learning about these two teams here in this best of three. This is the upper bracket of Group B, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 1. It's Influence Rage versus Virtus.pro.
I'm looking forward to Chan versus Bober. This kind of feels like this is a match against the both of them, considering the fact that having a Kadita is also a really, really good answer against the Farsa.
That's true. Again, the question mark towards Bober's Farsa grows ever larger. The last time we saw him play a Farsa on a grand scale was in the playoffs of MCC, and he lost.
Damn.
So now we have to really meticulously pay attention to how he plays this. Looking at the emblem build, if you're wondering like what's fit for a Minotaur right now is to get out of the range of Influence Rage. Yes, there. Now, but no, it's not a support emblem. It's just straight up tank.
Huh. Okay, so he just wants to be the pillar then, in this case, with a small little amount of healing that just kind of gets them around, right?
A little extra.
Keeps them, it's a bonus, right? It's not going around it, but it's just a bonus good to have. So with that all said and done, Virtus.pro, I do want to see just how tanky this Minotaur can realistically be. Well, in the meantime, Andoryu is just going to be starting things out over to the side of Jordan, but Jordan, he will go down despite having the Appraiser's Wrath land straight onto Boba.
Abstract. Bober played possum. He's like, oh look, I'm gonna die. Motivation roar blast you in the face. Otun fell for it, man. Influence Rage. Down by about 500 gold. Virtus.pro prompted up for this first turtle spawning. Upper quarter. Impressive work. Again, Virtus.pro plays well with these inches, man. You give them an inch, they take a kilometer.
I honestly really thought
that's the metric system.
It's a bit. Can we go Imperial? Honestly, I really thought that he will be able to heal a little bit more out of that Appraiser's Wrath. But I guess level 1 Appraiser's Wrath doesn't really get you back too much. But in the meantime, it does seem like we do have the turtle currently in the hands of Influence Rage. They are still trying to fight for this. While in the meantime, Influence Rage lands onto two person, sends one flying Chan, takes the turtle down. While Hodun just managed to almost get Pluto down. But in this case, Virtus.pro, they're going to be fine. They didn't lose anything. It is a one trade for a turtle.
All right, so they're still going, and this is Bad got taken down. Petrify spent by Chan. Painful that Virtus.pro still found a way to overextend, but it's clear that when they lost the turtle, there was a Mountain Shocker prior to that. Andoryu knew he wasn't going to touch the turtle. So at least they just went for the turn. They took down Chino, but now it's painful because Influence Rage are gaining ground. They could have not gained ground. They could have just played it defensively, but now instead, they gave a little bit of economy to Influence Rage, affording Chan an early Sky Piercer. That's his first item.
Damn. Honestly, we've done almost getting the hit, but it did definitely force out that flicker that leaves Virtus.pro with quite a bit of that battle spells unavailable for the next upcoming few fights.
Well, fair game, because Influence Rage also spent a lot of battle spells.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Those last encounters, so I'm liking it now. First 3 minutes in, the jump, Paquito's still alive.
Almost them. Paquito left with just a sliver. Even when it comes down to the lethal ignition, it's just not quite enough to pop him off.
So the laning continues. Again, 3.5 minutes in, just a little bit of change. Pluto coming in to assist Super Igorka on this crab take. So gold lane, one could say, is down pat, controlled by Virtus.pro. XP lane, though, I don't think. All right.
I think it's kind of like a wet noodle fight.
Yeah, they both have one kill, and like neither can deal lethal damage to the other.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that Phobius does have pretty nutty damage the moment you are able to continuously just land your ults. But going up against a Lapu Lapu, this is really just a wet noodle fight.
Yeah, no, in the Lapu Lapu, wow. Chino built a a Hunter Strike first, and that's a full combo!
And just right there, Chan finds himself in the top spot, but surprisingly, it does seem like we are going to be looking at a small little trade. Pluto lost his life while Chan is going to lose his life as well. Not a good trade for the side of Influence Rage.
That's right, but this does buy them a better positioning. Once more, Turtle number 2 goes over to the Latam reps here in the wild card. I like how they're throwing bodies. They know that the math does not add up to Virtus.pro, and Hotun now in the early game can still take hits from Andoryu. So while now he can stand his ground, he's going to use that advantage and take objectives with it.
So even if Virtus.pro seemingly have a better trade because the opponent no longer have a mage, they can actually try to fight for ground, but they're not really too interested in that. Since it's mostly about the jungle versus jungle matchup, right?
Yeah. The fact that Chan wasn't there did not do anything to change the interaction between Hotun and Andoryu. Andoryu's not ready yet. Pluto here, about to get caught.
Pluto ate the entirety of the rough waves, while in the meantime flickers forward, or rather backwards, together with the Minoan's Fury. While in the meantime, the bravest warrior is coming in from the side of Chino. Effectively will put Pluto down, but Fury is going to be the next one onto that chopping block. Perhaps Paquito too, but he will expand that flicker just to get himself right out of the killing blow from the side of Bad Cot.
Oh, Bad Cot's still going.
I don't think so.
Crossing over to the second tier.
Oh!
Flickering in. Does not want to take any prisoners.
But Chino clipped right by the edge of the boat.
All right. It was Chino who flickered out. So they understood that Bad Cot meant business. This is a man on a mission. And now it makes more sense. They were going for that mid lane at tier 1. This allows for the map to expand even more for Virtus.pro. And apparently, these turtle trades for Influence Rage aren't adding up.
Not at all.
Abstract, they're down 2,000. Yeah. Minimum 3,000 now.
Virtus.pro, they are on a tear. In fact, managing to bring down the T1 turrets in the bottom lane as well, effectively takes down all of the T1. Free real estate right here for Virtus.pro. They can involve themselves into the opponent's jungle however they want, but they gotta have to focus on the next objective, meaning the third turtle.
Okay, a tear is an understatement. I think we're downplaying how good Virtus.pro's power spike is going into this third turtle. What is this now? 3,000, 4,000 gold? I think twice as many kills as Influence Rage. And the fact that Fury is so vulnerable compared to Super Gorka. Maybe not now, but when Super Gorka has his flicker, Fury has to pick his fight very specifically. I mean, no one
Two-man flying up into the sky, and it does seem like Yodun is going to be doing this very well. But in the meantime, a quick little suppress just to ensure that Yodun will be going down alongside of Paquito, while the rest of Virtus.pro, they are just going to go in, and they broke through like an Olympic diver for all 5 of Influence Rage taken down.
He raged and raged into the night, and they all went on a nap. Influence Rage gets wiped out. And look, since Andoryu was traded out for 5, Virtus.pro said, okay, we won't go for the turtle, it's not as important, let's just go for the rest of the map. They pushed down tier 2 in mid, make up ground in, tier 2 in the bottom, and then make up ground in mid. Although, interestingly enough, they're losing out on map presence up top. They might actually lose tier 1 there. Oh, there it is.
Small little problem, small trades. For the fact that the 5 members from Influence Rage is down, we're looking at 5,000 gold deficit for Influence Rage. And when it comes down to the jungle matchup, Odin is currently at level 10 as opposed to Andoryu at level 12.
There it is.
Level difference.
The utility jungler advantage is gone. It's no longer so easy for Influence Rage to say, let's batter ourselves into Virtus.pro, because now Virtus.pro hurts. Even Chan has to take care of himself. Easy Lord take here for Virtus.pro. Andoryu didn't even need the retribution.
No, there's no challenge at all. But they still gotta have to be real careful though, because this is still kind of a pick-off comp from the side of Influence Rage. They can't, Virtus.pro can't simply just throw caution into the wind. Something that's as tanky as Pluto, as a Minotaur, can still be, whittled down very, very easily.
Luckily, this pickoff can come from many different ways, right? The hook, the bite, and maybe, close call there. And maybe off of Chan's initiation, because Chan just picked up a Divine Glaive. But I'm scared that the Divine Glaive here at 9 minutes isn't enough. Just that and the Sky Piercer isn't enough to put stacks on him, because he only has 1 stack so far.
Honestly, I think you're onto something. Virtus.pro, they are definitely going to have a very heavy front line. And of course, with the backline's damage, just look at that! that? The feathered airstrike is literally an artillery from downtown, and Chan just got sniped by Andoryu. All of three of Influence Rage suffered massive casualty, leaving Gino and Paquito.
And they're already inside the base. Chino forced to flicker back. Super de Gorka flickering forward to try and take down more of his prey. And I think they smell blood in the water. The Bears of Virtus.pro want more.
As such, another one of these feather airstrike will be able to get the Paquito as well as the Chino down. And Influence Rage unfortunately suffers the first loss.
10 minutes, not even 9:55, all it took for Virtus.pro to take game number 1 clean. And here we were questioning Bear's Farsa. Maybe it's just a secret weapon. Maybe it's just... Maybe he doesn't want to play it because it's too easy for him.
That is exactly what they are trying to do, right? Throw a curveball at us. Hey, look, I don't play Farsa. Only until we really need to.
That's some long-term conning right there. That's like it's like The Prestige, as directed by Christopher Nolan, starring V.U. Jackman.
At this point in time, he's committed, dude. He's so like, committed.
Bear, don't. Bear, not yet.
Hold it. Cook a little while longer.
Impressive work.
Damn.
And that is 100% win rate. Wait, no. It's a win for the Minotaur, the debuting Minotaur.
Yeah, so that is, I mean, technically, yes, you're right. 100% win rate for now.
Sure, I was just saying, like, I'm so impressed that it came out from out of nowhere and it won.
It worked. I mean, did it really work? Or is it just, the whole team as an identity that worked together?
I'd like to think it's a little bit of both. Because there are a lot of times, especially in the early game, wherein the motivation roar was enough to heal up just a wee bit so that members...
kill range.
Yes, to take him out of kill range, to have him get the movement speed boost enough to get in or out of range. And I think that big ticket, the Minoan Fury, like, how do you respond to mass CC like that? I mean,
only Chino can realistically get out of that, right?
Exactly, and Fury. But if Fury uses Needles and Thorns during the Minoan Fury, what more to save him from the other bits of CC coming from Virtus.pro? I'm impressed. I love it. I'm a believer now. Yesterday I was just a witness, but now I'm a believer. Gideon, 10 minutes. Is that the fastest game?
One of the fastest games, to be fair. I remember a couple 10-minute games in sub-11 games.
This is 9:55.
This is 9:55. It should be the fastest game.
This is 9:55.
Hey, look, we'll get some confirmation through Zipper a little bit later. But hey, great game coming in for Virtus.pro. Everything that we were trying to address, immediately we had an answer to it. And I want to jump on that train with that Minotaur because I think that not only was it just, hey, it's the pick with a mass CC, but I do think that the execution was almost near perfect. Yep. You always wait for that last second to flicker Minoan Fury, am I right? But he makes sure that he catches the tank offside. Once the tank is offside, everybody else can kind of start spilling in. Yep. Yes, Fury can get into these fights, but I do think that the side laners made the biggest difference.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, Backcott destroyed that game. He was playing, immaculately.
Yeah, he did die a few times wherein it seemed like he was overextending, but that's just the nature of the beast. That's just what you do as a Phoveus, right? You cross thresholds where no other hero could, and if you push your opponents back, you win, yes. If you die, it doesn't matter. You're an XP laner. You're the secondary roam.
Created more than enough space for you to kind of deal with whatever you need to, especially since this is kind of the lineup that they wanted, and this is also the execution that worked out for them.
I think, the only thing that I was hoping to see from the side of Influence Rage was more snipes coming in with the Kadita, right? I mean, the problem was opening up the map was finding a pocket to hide was hard enough, but then Minotaur starts walking up into it, and you're like, do I just try and one-shot the Minotaur? I don't have the items to do so just yet.
And to rely on the one-shot factor alone makes this such a fragile strategy. Not a fragile lineup, because the lineup knows how to take care of itself. I think that's fair enough to see. But in addition to that, what makes it harder to execute on is range. They were outranged. It was so much easier for Virtus.pro to say, hold your ground. Halfway through the engagement, they're already at half health, even before we start the fight, because of the feather airstrike, because of the artillery damage that the Granger on
Super Gorka
was dealing. So I think that alone was a fundamental flaw in this matchup. So that's why it led to 955.
Yeah, and not only that, right? Even when it comes down to Andoryu, he also does have some quite a good pokes going in. In fact, one of them sniping out a Kadita.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. I do think that the side laners were kind of struggling, but I think the item builds were also kind of weird. First item Sky Pierce coming in from that Kadita is a little greedy, as some may say. But with that being said, though, that's only the very first match. There's still more to come from both Virtus.pro and maybe the Revenge of Influence Rage. Game 2 going to be happening right after the break. We'll catch you right after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. The wildcards continue today with our third best of 3. Group B has been exciting, but Virtus.pro looks to try and dominate the entirety of the tournament here at the 2025 Esports World Cup live in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. My name is Getting Q for those of you just tuning in. We've got Abstract and as well as Leo at the desk to keep you guys entertained as the games go by. But after first impressions, we need to start talking about adaptation, boys. Influence Rage. Yes, they have another alive, but they've got to show up here for Latam.
There's a lot that's on the line, even though, like you said, one more life, but 2 losses, you're out kind of thing. Do you really want to be there? Do you really want to be on, uncharted waters?
Okay. They've been here before, all right? Yesterday, they faced off against Zeta Division. They were put at the cusp of defeat, but they reverse sweep the hell out of that series, right?
Yep.
So they recovered they recovered the way like no one could recover in game 2 with a Nana, with Kalia finally being put in the hands of Paquito. But here's the thing. Game 1, there was chance, there was hope. They did not lose in 10 minutes. Game 1 here, they lost in 10 minutes. So I think cover the bases first. Your fundamentals,
I think that adjustments that need to be made, side laners need something a little bit, because they're getting outclassed here. It's getting really, really difficult. Let's jump into the draft in just a little bit here. Checking out the SEC Gaming Hall is already a good time, but these players are playing on a pretty huge stage, open aired, and you guys can be watching it live here in Riyadh. Book your tickets now while you still can. Boys, walk me through the draft. What are the adjustments that need to be made? Abstract and Leo, it's all you.
One cannot emphasize the lack of range in game 1. That was a little, besides the whole fact that they were playing with a Kadita with Petrify, it was a little greedy. The whole idea of, we're going to get you, was greedy enough. Like, they were at least expecting Virtus.pro to meet them halfway, but they did not. Virtus.pro did not meet them halfway.
At least for the side of Influence Rage, what worked for them was just pure pickoff since game 2 against Zeta Division. And I think that they are leading towards that direction. But the question is now if whether they are still going to try for that same kind of idea going up against VP, because they want to catch, but in that previous game, Paquito didn't manage to land much hooks, if not any at all. It was for them to even get the pick off.
He was biting down where it mattered, but it was so difficult to capitalize because, again, the nature of that lineup and how it interacted with what VP was playing. So now Virtus.pro can respond in a very similar way because, if I'm not mistaken, the draft looks about 100% from back then.
Exactly.
Game 1. This is deja vu.
Deja vu. And in fact, even the first pick of the 1-1 is still the same as well. Influence Rage does seem like they put a lot of emphasis onto 1-1 at this point in time.
That's Fury's 1-1.
Yes. Lapu Lapu is still open. So in fact, I think that they will still kind of go towards that. Oh, but no, a little bit different here. But they still don't have that range that you were talking about.
Yep, this is still mid-range at best. But, you know, for being conservative, for Influence's Rage's sake, so that they understand how important this is short range. This is very short range compared to the artillery of Virtus.pro right now. This slot earlier for Virtus.pro, this is not where the Minotaur showed up. Minotaur showed up in phase 2.
Phase 2, yes. In fact, the Gato Kacha. Okay. So adding an additional bastion over to the garrisons.
This is where the Minotaur showed up.
Was it?
Or Phoveus is where the Phoveus.
Yes.
So now it's a good thought. Phoveus is still out there. You can still pick the Phoveus. And what's crazier is Virtus.pro, they did not ban the Zetian earlier. So now they don't care either. Like, they can just attack.
Oh, right.
XP line in the roam now.
So no Zetian, because Influence Rage already have the juice in. What the kind of answers that they have gotta have to lie in the XP or the roam position. So all of the utility gotta have to go to either one of these two or both of these two.
As it is between the Fredrin and the Zushin, they can maybe pick, again, an Enchanter support. We're looking for that for a while now. The roam spot for Paquito. And then in the EXP, you can also kind of split up that responsibility. You can give, again, the Lapu Lapu. Like, I would like that. Or something like a Terizla or
in this case,
Arlot.
I think the way that they should go with is gotta be the Yuzhong. if they need a way to engage and a way to stop the feather airstrike, the Yuzhong seems like the most viable option for them, at least to start a fight, then the rest can kind of slowly flow in.
Yeah, it's like a backdoor into the mainframe.
Yes.
Like nobody can stop you. You are going to find either the Farsa or the Granger, one way or another, with the Yuzhong. Does Influence Rage have that in their back pockets? Can Chino bring out his El Dragon?
Oh, I do like that. But follow-ups, that's what I want to get into.
How do they make sure that he gets out?
Yeah. So what are the other possibilities? When it comes down to the Roman category, you have the Yuzhong go in first.
Matilda.
Who's coming in? Oh.
Matilda Yuzhong, maybe, if they want to fly like
and
that.
it kind of helps with the Fredrin as well.
Yeah, also gives them 1-1 a way out. But let's see.
Two-way outs, you know.
Exactly. Virtus.pro finally bans out the Franco, so no Latino Franco.
No Latino Franco.
So far, is it just me? So far, the only successful Franco is Shenlin in the wildcards.
I mean, so far we only had 2 Franco plays, right?
Yeah, so it's just Shenlin now. It's just Shenlin now with 100%.
Shenlin.
Rage here taking out the CC. So they're clamping down on XP lane picks.
Yeah, that's a Yuzhong that they'll be looking for. They want to...
This is a Yuzhong setup.
Yeah, they want to ragdoll the lane. They don't want a CC to stop them at this point in time. I don't think that they're going to go for any other utility ones. In fact, damage is something that they're lacking, considering the fact that it is a Juicing after all, right?
Yep, doesn't deal much damage. It's more utility than anything. Virtus.pro, they got one more slot here. They do not have an XP laner nor a jungler.
Oh, VP can actually totally steal that.
A Yuzhong?
Yeah, they can totally steal that.
Yeah, no, you would be hurting the 1-1. And giving the Zushin a little too much to think about in your face. So they're keeping that close to the chest. Maybe not quite yet. This does open up the Lancelot.
Lance.
And Doryu picking up the Lancelot.
Okay, so that is going to be their priority. Now, the final question. Is it actually a Matilda plus a Yuzhong?
Those are the options. Those are the logical picks.
Logical, but the other less logical ones, Lapu Lapu is always a very consistent, it's always something that I would say you can't go wrong kind of hero. And when it comes down to Roma, since Paquito is such a playmaker...
Is this an Angela lineup?
No way.
Again, that's a supporter role. That's an enchanter support, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can put the Angela in Rome and then Lapu Lapu, Yuzhong, whatever. Make my day. You can put anybody there.
Okay. Leo the man. Angela did pop up, and it also is going to be the Lapu Lapu. So they're not looking at a very clear file way to deal with the Farsa, which actually kind of still leads to the problem that they had in the previous game where they can't just go in.
All right. The difference from them and Mongols is Mongols are only one speed yesterday. Influence only know one direction here. In your face. Straight up. The answer by Virtus.pro. They close up their draft with an Esmeralda. Throwing it into the face of all these shields. Angela, shields. Zushin, shields. Lapu Lapu, shields.
She's happy.
Okay.
She's happy.
All right. Virtus.pro.
They definitely win the draft for this one, even though I love the Angela, but...
You like the answers more.
Yes.
Because it's so much more sound.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this draft has gone in the direction...
Yuzhong?
Again, that's how wide open this meta game is, Abstract.
My goodness. I guess comfort over meta.
Okay, at least we saw both directions coming, right? If it was a Yuzhong, you would have been right.
Yeah.
If it was the Angela,
you would have been right.
Man, we're pretty good at this.
Yeah, I think
we should be casters.
Damn, I never thought I could be that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2. Match point for Virtus.pro. The pride of EECA going up against the once favored would-become champions of MPL Latam here. They're trying to make it into game number 3. Can they do that, or will Virtus.pro continue their dominating streak here, being the only undefeated team in the wild card?
Let's take a look. As going in from this at the get-go, Virtus.pro started at the top. In fact, the Fredrin also. So the final destination is definitely going to be the gold lane in order to put a little bit more attention and influence. While most of that movements in the initial start, after clearing out the first wave, they went up to the top to kind of get a rain check.
This mid lane matchup is, for now, at least, favorable to Influence Rage. The Angela just throwing out all of these, at this point in the game, nukes, and then heals to sustain Chan and his Zushin, and then eventually Zushin will run out of damage and will not be as effective. Oh my god, very low. Hotun!
Oh, again, 2 times in a row. Hotun finds himself being first blooded. Oh man, that's not a great start. Game 1 and game 2.
Let's not even get started on top lane. The Esmeralda is eating up the Lapu Lapu as we expected. Then bottom lane, Fury is in trouble.
Oh no, there's no way he's getting out of this, huh? We got Pluto tank the first shot. The wave comes in, and goodbye to Few. I spoke a little bit too soon. Okay. Phantom Execution executes the 1-1.
Multiple losses on all fronts. Top lane, Chino falls. Bottom lane, Fury falls. Up next on the docket, Paquito and Hotun. Virtus.pro.
Hotun's is 3.
Oh my lord. Virtus.pro are they're standing and stepping down onto Influence Rage's next. Hotun almost goes down, doesn't even have level 4 yet.
Oh man, we are only 2 minutes into this game, and Virtus.pro seems like they are burying Influence Rage alive, as now Bad Cart immediately pushes the Lapu Lapu away with the Feathered Airstrike to create a little bit more zoning. In fact, Pluto also has zoning in his kit.
Chan already used the Crimson Beacon, dashing back away from the fight. Virtus.pro now sitting at 2,000 gold ahead. I was like, is this not the biggest lead we've seen at the 2-minute mark?
This is absolutely the biggest lead, right? Naturally, if you want to play a very aggressive lineup, something that we'll always see from the Indonesian meta or the Malaysian meta, you want 1,000 gold lead every minute. The moment that they continue to go on with this, they are on the right curve in order for them to end once again sub 10.
And things are getting out of hand at that point. So you're going to go into panic mode. You're going to try to go for survival. And for once, wow, Chino is winning this lane here, but he is forced to use his ult. All this while, Badcut's holding on to his own. Badcut doesn't care.
And his HP is back already. He literally do not care at all, man. This guy, he's literally holding on to his lane very well. In fact, 1v2, almost there on the Paquito, but he did at least manage to force a very valuable flicker away from the Angela.
Okay, mind you, macro-wise, Paquito lost nothing on that. He's get the retreat, and then Heart Guard. Where's the Heart Guard?
Heart Guard was even used, I think.
Right there.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so he didn't use it in the previous one. He was using it right now. Badcart finds himself outmatched against the Lapu Lapu finally, I suppose. But now the sandwich happens as Influence Rage finds himself right behind the Virtus.pro. They focus his number 1 on the Super Igorka, only for him to flicker himself away, while Bober just goes into Feathered Airstrike and put out an artillery out over to the side of Influence Rage, while we do have Fury also with that crossbow of Tang.
Oh, wow. Super outnumbered, Virtus.pro are. But all this while, what does this buy for them across the map? A steal. Andoryu commits Grand Theft Purple, taking away resources from Influence Rage. They badly need this. They're now at what? Almost 3,000 gold ahead, and they're still going for the turtle. Can Influence Rage contest this?
I absolutely not. Hodun is currently 2 levels behind of Andoryu, and he's not even tanky enough. In fact, take a look at this collapse coming in from Virtus.pro, trying to bring Gino down as much as possible, but a good flicker plus a stun over to Badcart, and even for Bober, popping off with the Feathered Airstrike just to zone everyone else away. No way Influence Rage gets close.
Dear God, the tweaks to Lancelot's kit is evident now. Top lane, look at this, Bober!
Influence Rage finally comes back and gets a good fight against Bober. Now Hodun is still in the fight though. He definitely do not want to get a little bit too close to Andoryu as well as Badcart, but the top lane is slightly pushed out. This will be a 4v2 unless Hodun goes down.
Andoryu is just way too far ahead. He's dealing damage that Influence Rage cannot comprehend. A push in mid. Chino trying to stop the bleeding there. Fury looking to get the pop off here. He has his ult. He has an Inspire. Can he do it?
Honestly, here we go. Phantom Execution will be able to stop Fury from the back crossbow of Tang. Well, Badcart, he's just walking away. No problems for this man as Bober and Pluto zones everyone else to ensure that there's no chasing available.
Badcart gets away with it. He walks. Virtus.pro continuing to slaughter through Influence Rage, whether it be at the cost of something across the map or for just free 99. 6 minutes into this game, 3-4, yes, the score is, but look at the map. Look at the gold lead. They're holding strong. There's 3,000 gold ahead.
This macro game from Virtus.pro is absolutely disgusting, right? Because every single fight that they take, there is a motive and there's something that's going on the opposite side of the map. No matter what, if Virtus.pro is buying time out of Influence Rage, something else is happening across.
It's just way too fast. Virtus.pro playing off the tempo that they did in game number 1. Again, unofficial just yet, but 9:55 might be the fastest game in all of MSC just yet. All of the wild card, and Virtus.pro are keeping up with that pace. 15 seconds until the final turtle spawns. Again, none for Influence Rage thus far. I'm guessing they're going to try to contest still. With an Angela lineup, you have no choice. You have to try.
They have to, right? But level-wise, though, 3 levels behind. Realistically, it's kind of tough to see them being able to, but great taunt coming in from the Gatokacha just to make sure that Chino would not be able to get himself away. But this is what we want from Chan. He does have the hot gun on him, and of course, the Crimson Beacon sends him flying in right in front and will be able to deal with Super Igorka. Literally, this is Chan at its finest. Bring down Pluto next one.
Too many shields on the Zushin, and they're not dead. Gets taken out.
You have managed to bring yourself into the third turtle. Influence Rage, I didn't think that they will be able to win in the fight, much less win the turtle.
The Nightmare gets shot out. They wake up, they open their eyes and say, It's go time, gentlemen. Andale, we can't allow Virtus.pro to do this to us. And I couldn't believe they did it off the back of Chan. It was all on the back of a Crimson Beacon and just straight up sprinkling magic damage and CC everywhere.
Now that I think about it, Super Igorka don't have got any of that mobility to get himself away from the Crimson Beacon plus the Landed Flare. And honestly, Chan, he's pretty tanky with all those shields combined. So Virtus.pro, I think Badcott gotta have to keep an eye onto Chan from this point onwards.
Yeah, to be honest, Badcott is the one hard stop. No one from Virtus.pro can actually answer to what that was. The Chan and Paquito combo, the Angela and Zushin. So if once Badcott says we're ready, that's all Badcott does. Anything comes up mid-fight, once he sees that hard guard, he just changes to targets. Like, I will dance around you.
With the itemizations going on about Virtus.pro, it does seem like the Granger is just a tad bit ahead of the 1-1, and Virtus.pro trying to be very aggressive on top of all of that too.
Given that, Virtus.pro have to find a way to funnel some resources over to Badcott. Because now Badcott becomes all the more a priority.
Right?
He becomes that much more significant. Yes, the game changer here. Now knowing that the one way Influencer can turn things around is off of the Hearthguard on Chan. That was the most lethal thing we've seen Influence Rage do in this whole game, maybe series. Even Fury wasn't as scary.
Honestly, they just gotta have to cycle that part over and over again until Virtus.pro finds an answer. So instead of a pause 4 Esmeralda, immediately we have that switched up for a pause 3 Esmeralda. Badcott gotta have to be right in the face of Chan, especially since it is going to be an aggressive Crimson Beacon, leaving Chan with nothing but a flicker. In fact, Chan picking up the flicker is a testament to the fact that they know that this works and they will pull it off.
Yep, there's really nothing to purify here. It's not as important. Repositioning is going to be more important as the Lord stands now. Both teams actually have a fair chance at getting it. Andoryu securing his orange first. Will be the same for Influence Rage, but the other way around, the purple for Hotun. And now the dance begins. Pluto first, Chan. I can't believe it. Chan is the linchpin of Influence Rage right now.
Never would I have think that a Juicin will actually get to that point. That is kind of scary. Let's take a look at items. Glowing 1, and of course, Sky Piercer.
Yeah, there's not enough money on Badcott to do exactly what we're asking of him. What Virtus.pro needs of him to be able to stop the menace that is Chan's Zushin, who, after that one turnaround, said, forget about it. Let's build the... oh my God!
Oh no, Chino!
There it is again!
All the way to the back, but in the meantime, Chan is exactly what we were talking about. Again, the victim to this combo, Super Igorka.
And they lose, as expected. Badcott, again, he's not ready just yet. Might have to surrender himself, concede to Chan. But look at this. off camera, where is Andoryu? He's just split pushing. He's the only thing he can do.
They need an answer to this. Even though Andoryu is, of course, ahead in levels and being able to steal the lot away from Influence Rage, but they just don't have got that real estate to allow Andoryu all that vision.
Yeah, they invested in the off lane. They invested in the long lane and pushed that bottom lane tier 2, which is again a consolation prize to the Lord, to the pickoffs that Virtus.pro got. This was such a deep dive by Chan. It started with him hunting down Super Gorka in about the same spot and then moved over to near the lane, taking down another, and then that's all she wrote. That's all Influence Rage wanted to do. It went straight for the Lord. Bad Caught, there's just not enough resource on the map to give to Bad Caught.
There's nothing that they could do except to kind of deal with the lanes bit by bit, right? And that also means that they're gonna have to extend the game as long as they can. Imagine the amount of gold lead that Virtus.pro had, only to be foiled by a single Angela plus Juice in combination.
This is what teams like Team Falcons were going for. They wanted to play this kind of Zushin Angela combo Andoryu. River Brush gets spotted out.
But it's not going to be too much of a problem. We do have the creep waves coming in, and it does seem Andoryu wants to do a little bit of something. But I think that is a little bit of an overcommitment, as now at least they managed to get a kill down on Hoden. If they're able to fall back, that's perfect.
Free pickoff here for Virtus.pro, and they don't lose much of the map in pursuit of this kill. Hotun falls. Unfortunately, it won't really mean much. It's just there to try and close the gap. Minimize the gold lead that Influence Rage has, currently sitting about 2,000 gold up, and at least they're putting a little bit more gold and resources on Bad Caught. Bad Caught now just under 1,000 behind Chino, so he's on his way, I believe, to a Queen's Wings. This must be.
Probably so. Still at 6,600 gold to his name. Well, in the meantime, the Lancelot is also playing that old school Lancelot build, so full out damage going on for him. Still 55 seconds until the lot happens. Now, Virtus.pro still gotta have to answer that one question. How do they actually realistically deal with Chan? With a massive amount of shields going on, even if Virtus.pro just focuses everyone and just single target over to Chan, I don't think that they have got what it takes to actually bring him down.
Yeah, if that's economically efficient, or if that'll solve the problem, right? Because it's all theoretical at this point. But I don't know if at the time there was a halberd on Super Gorka when they last fought. Because Super Gorka now has a halberd, and now there's a dominance ice on Pluto, and a glowing one on Bober. Those three things may be together. That might be enough to put down the shields. Andoryu chasing Paquito!
But of course, the Winter Crown is just going to be popped, and a quick Angela's out. Also, the Hot Gut allows her to get out of dodge, while now Chan is still onto the sides. A little bit of a choke point, but now they lost that Winter Crown. They lost that the ultimate coming in for the side of Angela as well. But Andoryu found himself a little bit too deep into the battle, as such his will go down. Fury is still going to be hanging around, but Bad Caught finds himself right in the face of Fury. Virtus.pro with only 4 members down, 4 members left. They're gonna have to continue on to this fight, or they're gonna have to back out. Pluto, next one, chopping block. While now Bober flickers himself away, wings by wings, ensuring that he will be fine. As now the Hot God is back over to the side of Chan. They are just trying to do their absolute best. Look at an insane amount of damage that somehow Chan is able to deal over to Bad Caught.
Bad Caught still running. 3 members of Virtus.pro send themselves away. Influence Rage, they lost the battle but won the war. I get what Virtus.pro was going for. I get what Andoryu was trying to do. It started here in the bottom lane. He tried to threaten Paquito and said, Paquito, use your Heart Guard now, and he did onto Chan. And Chan tried to start a fight
Even
that was
pop off early.
mal-timed. It wasn't very well timed and placed. And then that gave what, a 15-20 second window to Virtus.pro to try and pick a fight, and then it lasted a little too long that they weren't getting what they wanted, and Influence Rage got the cooldown again, and it led to the Heart Guard on Chan once more. And then it was all over. It was too late.
We gotta have to also consider the fact that Angela will definitely get cooldown reduction the moment that someone goes down. As now Influence Rage, they will ravage through the entirety of the battlefield as Virtus.pro find themselves with the back against the wall. While Chan, this man, is on a rampage as he now gets himself a double kill. Make that a triple. Very potentially might be able to get himself a big one. Maniac with Andoryu, the last man standing, and he might very potentially be able to do something about this. Fury goes down. Wait, Hoden goes down as well. As now a Savage coming in from John! The combo from Influence Rage!
And now it's just a matter of time. Influence Rage once more takes us all the way. The corpses of Virtus.pro lie beneath their base, and we're going all the way. Game 3!
Whoa! As the corpse litters the battlefield, Influence Rage met themselves with such a tough start. Holden found himself down and down time and time again. But the moment they found that point in time where they show their cards, the Angela plus Juicing combination, they have been unstoppable.
It didn't matter. Apparently, it was a core Jushin in the most weirdest of ways.
And no one saw that coming at all.
She was a force of nature, man. Chan decided to put the beacon on you, and there was nothing you could do about it. You were either going to die or get thrown around like a rag doll.
Even if you saw the Esmeralda,
Yeah, no,
it was just
bad
taking
cop,
everything.
Bad Cop was a band-aid for a bullet wound. Like, it was not going to solve the issue. You were not going to walk away from that.
Realistically speaking, we all just wanted to see Badcott being the answer. But
He was the only logical answer. But it wasn't enough.
was it really about the money?
Was it about the money? Yeah, I think money solves a lot of things, right?
But in that case,
In that case, I'd like to think maybe not. You're right. What if he did fully build? It's just that the shields on the Zushin and the kit that was coming out of this ethereal figure was just too much. You're right. It was just too much. Like, sure, deny the shields, but you were gonna die. Take it away. You were going to die either way. The Sky Piercer had enough stacks on it.
it's a massive curveball.
Is this the first Savage of all wildcard?
This is the first Savage.
All right, Virtus.pro didn't score no Savages last night, so yeah, no.
Yeah, they are the best team.
First Savage by Chan.
This guy blew me off, and I don't even know what to say. Look, this is the point in time where we just immediately saw that.
Abstract. Chan joins a very elite list of players to have scored a Savage in an international event. There's just a handful of them now. I know the M Series Savages, but what are the MSC Savages?
I actually...
Right? Though that's also a very small list of elite players. A very select few, and Chan now joins those ranks.
And in the wild card.
Andoryu tried to deny it too. I like how Andoryu was like, Thorn Rose, I'm not going down like this.
And he got 2 kills, so I think that's actually pretty valiant effort coming from Andoryu. It's
Yeah,
like,
I think the
I'm
kids
going down.
would say NT. type NT in the chat. Like that's where we find ourselves. Getting you see that Savage?
I did see that Savage.
Woo!
Very impressed with everything that Latam has to offer. Influence Rage, great job at bringing this back, pushing the score 1-1 against Virtus.pro, because my God, that early game was heavily in the favor of Virtus.pro. Everything was going well for them, but it's all the small things put together, right? For me, I think why Zushin on top, being that core Zushin on top of having the Heart Guard as a primary target, the only person who could really apply their damage was technically Farsa. Granger's shots were getting blocked, and then if we start thinking about Andoryu, he's not going for the lethal ignition, he's going for killing spree, so he's more of the cleanup crew than anything else. So, with that being said though, we're going to see a Game 3 in this featured match alone, and it's going to be one hell of a banger here. Boys, adjustments need to be talked about, because I feel like in terms of the draft, do you necessarily agree with the Esmeralda?
I still think that Esmeralda is the answer.
Yeah.
Like, Esmeralda is a good pick here for me. But it just seemed as though they didn't see that coming from Chan, and they started to panic.
Here's the thing. The one fault I think that Virtus.pro committed was the fact that they failed to recognize the timer. They failed to recognize that they were counting down to when Zushin was ready. When Chan got Paquito in him, and they were just the most confident they ever were all series, that's where I think Virtus.pro said, oh wow, we weren't ready for this. And then that was the one mistake. They definitely dropped the ball here.
Could have been a change. change? I mean, I don't know. I would have liked to see a more high damage oriented EXP laner. I think that was the only adjustment I would have thought. Again, Esmeralda, not the biggest fan of it. I understand with the shields and everything, but if they had just a wee bit more damage, I think maybe they could have prevented not only the Savage, but maybe turn and close out that game. I don't know. It's a lot to discuss. We will talk about it before we go into our next game, but we're going to go on a short break. And when we come back, the conclusion of our third series of the day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. The wild cards continue in our third feature match of the day. Has been no less than shocking, but at the same time, our very first Savage of the wildcards here at MSC has already occurred by Chan. Influence rate has come out of the gate swinging, but there still needs to be adjustments coming into game number 3. My name is Getting in Q. Of course, we've got Leon as well as Abstract at the helm to keep you guys entertained and be your main witnesses as they are our commentators. Boys, adjustments. I think the early game needs to be smoothened out from the side of influence rates. There's so many times where this game could have been closed out towards mid-game if somebody made just one more mistake. It's always just teetering on the edge.
Is it part of their plan? Lose the early game, you get nonchalant, throw out caution in the wind, boom, Chan, in your face!
I would like to think not, because that is a super
Benefit of doubt.
That's a super fragile and you put your fate in your opponent's hands. Like, that's not how you win a competition. So I'd like to think that this is more of Virtus.pro slipping up. Virtus.pro not recognizing the timer and not recognizing how lethal. I mean, I'll be honest, like, even I was surprised of how lethal a Zushin Angela combo would be. Yeah. I saw the Angela come in from a mile away in the very last second, but I did not know that it would be this way. I expected it to be more on the Lapu, more on the Fredrin, maybe even the 1-1, but they were all like just a supporting cast to Chan Zushin. So that should be definitely watched out for in Game 3. Like, maybe ban. Make sure that there's no Angela shenanigans.
I think that's fair. That's a fair argument. But do you think that Endoryu could have just adjusted his build just a little bit more? I mean, he was opting to go for Killing Spree. He could have gone for like the Bruiser style, the latest, yeah. I mean, the Lethal Ignition and go for that Bruiser style instead. Change up the build a little bit more. Maybe get the anti-heal just a little bit earlier down the priority.
Like Halberd at 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I don't know. These small things are looking to start to add up. We've seen in the wildcards how much that makes a difference here in a lot of their matches, especially when we're talking about like 6 to roughly, I'll be a little bit more generous. I would say 7 to the 11th minute mark. That's where a lot of teams kind of converge in terms of how much gold they can accumulate.
All in all, if you were to ask me that question, I would generally say that one thing's for sure, yes, timing has got to be the way, especially since they got massive lead at the start. They managed to but it managed to even keep Hodun in a corner. Like, that guy, he's not coming out. He can't do his basic job of tanking, basic job of taking objectives.
He had negative experience. He owed people experience.
Honestly, what could they possibly do at that point in time, right? But for VP, I think they slipped up only because of the timer, and then they somehow, one lost game, or rather one lost fight, switched all the way through.
It was the fight. That was the fight of all fights. Wherein Chan just ran through everyone.
Well, let's see whether we're going to get another fight of all fights once again. We're going to be heading into the draft real soon here at the SCC Gaming Hall. Boys and girls, you better get excited for this because VP has put on a show, and Influence Rage shows you when they're backed up into a corner, all they want their soldiers to do is rage. Let's jump right into this. Leo, Abstract, it's all you.
I like that. Coach Blackjack's only order is to rage. You follow my lead, but you better rage along the way. Game number 3 is upon us. Influence Rage on the pick. They'll pick 2, but Virtus.pro will play. So they are on blue side. Oh, look at this. No more.
Immediate respect.
No more. Banning the Zushin.
We don't have an answer yet, so bye, Jusin. We're not going to deal with that.
So the problem wasn't the Angela. It was a Zushin.
Look, we even made that comment, right? Where it was like, okay, EXP Lina probably needs some more damage because Jusin deals no damage. But
I guess it's not the amount of damage that was the problem. It was just the kit, like how inevitable it was that if you stood underneath,
you would just get tossed over and over and over
it just
again.
Ruins all of Virtus.pro's plans. So yeah, no, this is good housekeeping. They banned out the 1-1 as well, forcing Fury to play something else, while Influence Rage, I'll just ban the same things.
I don't think that anything changed at all.
Not for this side.
But the Kalia at this point in time is still open.
That's right.
Okay, we'll say goodbye to that as well. That was my only, one of the only things that I would believe that Influence Rage would highly capitalize on.
Yep, those are respect bans. Again, that's literally Chan, Fury, and Paquito.
So with all of that taken out, the first pick will go over to VP, and generally when it comes down to VP, Uranus is also taken out, so that is out of the picture. 1-1 is out. I would assume that having a Yi Sun-shin will always be a great start.
No, we forgot Baksha's open. Baksha was banned in the previous series, but previous games, but now here it is. Hard flex here, we don't know where this is going. The answer by Influence Rage, putting a Farsa in the hands of Chan. And I'd reckon... The Baksha blocks out so much.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You wouldn't really want to go too much regenerating kind of thing based on that first pick box here.
Oh, do you go Granger? Do you go Farsa Granger?
Honestly, Granger?
It's safe.
Yeah, it's safe. You don't lock yourself into any form of composition just yet. But you also take ensure that you give Fury the pick that he wants.
Oh, wow, no. They're picking their foundations first.
Okay.
This is the Hotun's Fredrin. The hero that we could have sworn was just bullied into the ground, buried, but no. You can hear Linkin Park's music play like the ending of that Transformers movie. Come out like he's fine. Apparently he's okay. So how does Virtus.pro respond to this?
Maybe Tien is available.
Yes, again, a clear answer to the Farsa.
And the it has always been like a pair, right? So Tien and the Yi Sun-shin. So kind of put the Baxia over to the roam.
So there's half of it, and there's the other.
There we go.
Combo. Okay.
If Rage combos, we combo.
So we're
throw a die.
Yep. So we're looking for the Granger here. This is Granger the Earthel. We often see this. This is such a 1.9.92 pattern wherein red side pick 3 becomes either the Airtel or the Granger. It comes down to that. And then you allow for the other to get the swing back. But no, you're ensured to win this matchup because you can ban gold laners after the bans. You take away more bans, more gold laners.
So you take the, in this case, take either Iritel or Granger, and then you ban Iritel and Granger.
And everything else.
And all Granger.
Like Moskov.
Moskov, Bruno.
Yep.
I think Bruno has been quite a bit of priority.
Or better yet, you pick something else. You pick a roamer or an XP laner. There it is. There's the Cho. And then you start banning gold laners and force the good one left to red 4.
So consistently, Influence Rage actually focuses on banning Bruno in the previous series against Zeta Division. It could be a respect over to Zeta Division units for playing the Bruno. Perhaps in this case, they are just thinking, maybe we don't really need to care too much about that.
Yeah, looking at Super Igorka, again, he did play in the Brave Draft atmosphere of MCC. It wouldn't really matter. So just let him have whatever. But maybe you can, maybe during the second phase now, you can attack it specifically enough. You take out the Bruno, take out the Granger, end up with the Iritel, force him to play like something like a...
Oh yeah, their first pick on the second phase.
Yes. Oh no, but they won't touch it.
Okay.
They would rather not attack hero pools.
Okay.
It seems like it's in vain.
So they might as well just take out heroes that have a lot more impact throughout the entirety of the game. Phoveus being one of them. The next one, I think taking out a glue is going to be generally fine too.
Or CC.
Or CC.
Yeah, because usually CC is the answer, but if you're not sure what your opponent's playing in the XP lane, you would rather not risk it, so maybe ban out the CC.
With all things considered, Influence Rage lacks gold lane and a XP. Gold XP, VP, XP, and gold. Gold, yeah.
So it's weird that gold laners aren't getting attacked here.
Yeah.
Both sides just want to have a good pickup.
Just an open lane. Perhaps they're just thinking, you know what? We'll just leave the gold lane alone. This is something that is not going to be the gold lane in this game. We're going to focus and attack the EXP. We want to win the XP fight. We want to win in early turtles.
Yeah.
And I think that fits into VP's MO with how they have been playing very aggressively in all of their early games.
And with this last ban by Rage, it's all the more clear that gold lane should be wide open. There's the Badang. What is Virtus.pro ban out? The CC, there it is.
Okay,
it was going to be a trade for either side. Now, Rage, a gold laner.
It has to be a gold laner, right?
And an XP laner. Yeah, because they'd lose the trade if they let go of the gold now. So they have to pick the best gold laner available, unless that's what they want.
Keep the gold laner for themselves.
Yeah. Make sure that the gold laner wins that matchup.
Understandably, even when it comes down to the XP side, you can kind of use that as an X factor. The moment that you don't pick up the XP, because it is a blind pick after all.
Yes, even if it's a comfort pick, it's still a blind pick. You could get ruined by the last 2 from Virtus.pro.
Still got about 10.
Yesterday there was a Harith, right? Virtus.pro shut that down. But now all the more Harith should be picked up.
No way.
There's an Arlet. Okay, XP lane first then.
Okay, so it is XP. Virtus.pro. This is an XP Arlet. That means that we actually have quite a lot of heroes that we can kind of work with. We've got the Yuzhong. Phoveus is out, unfortunately. Yuzhong, Glue. I mean, if you want to call in for heroes that we haven't seen in a long time, I suppose Benedetta is one thing if they want to add more damage into the mix. Or if they want some more tankiness. I don't think Esmeralda fits the bill.
Yeah, no.
They have an answer for the Farsa.
Glue seems good. I like the glue. There's only really one answer so far on the board. That's a Farsa that blows it up.
Okay.
But there it is.
Yep, just a glue.
Alongside the carry, which I reckon should rock a Purify. So the carry just ruins the Arlet.
Cho as well.
The Cho in the red lane.
Yes.
So what does Rage put in the gold lane against his carry?
So long range, right? You want to win by range.
Oh, wow! No, they...
Oh my god.
They decide to play in the paint. Here's the Harith. Yesterday, Virtus.pro ruined the Harith. Kami of Nightmare Esports tried to play a Harith.
It didn't work out well at all.
Did nothing. Close to nothing. There'll be an action later on. I wonder how they're feeling going into today's match, an elimination match. But here, these two teams are one game away from qualifying for the next stage of the wild card, the single elimination stage before the finals.
So fill me in. This is a pick-off with a Cho, but they don't have anyone necessary to kill whoever got picked off. Aside from Farsa.
Their only source of burst is the Farsa, yes. Or in the ultra late game, the Harith, which is again very fragile.
But would they have to wait till the late game?
It's so specific. This is what Influence Rage decided to go into, but all the while Virtus.pro,
I mean, it fixed the problem about high ground, but it doesn't fix the problem about winning in the early game.
yes, the high ground issue, Abstract, was something that they had to deal with in game 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, not a problem in game 2 anymore. So it feels like it's retroactively fixing something that wasn't a problem anyways.
Okay.
But if it wins, hey, who are we to say? Even this glue in the hands of Badcott seems like a long shot. Like, we were asking for it, yes, but what does it do in practice? We're about to find out. Game number 3, the rubber match in this best of 3. One game to confirm who moves on to the next stage. Who gets out of Group B first? Is it Virtus.pro or Influence Rage? We're about to find out. Here we go.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, what's it going to be? We are down to match point. One team, as you mentioned, gets the first seed. Group B.
Dragging in place.
Yeah, you were kind of dropping a beat, huh?
Yeah.
I was about to.
I mean, they're running in tempo. Look at that.
Not exactly a moonwalk per se, but hey, I'll take that any day.
All right. Let's allow our players to gather themselves. You were saying?
I forgot what I was saying.
We'll let it go then. Some ideas are better left to the ether.
If I forget about it, that means it's not something important, right?
Okay, back into the action. For reals this time. Influence Rage. They definitely drafted a little spicy. Again, your worries are not without merit, Abstract. Because yes, whoever you pick off, whoever you find with the final slash, whoever you find with the Way of the Dragon, has to be led to some kind of damage, right?
Yep.
Here's what's painful. Both of them are magical type. Both of those damage sources that you want to feed into your lineup are of the magic variety.
Oh man, and there's also another thing that I remembered is the fact that Influence Rage consistently played the Fredrin in the jungle for all 3 games.
Oh yeah. Game 1, 2, and 3.
Yes. So they really like that.
Fortune woke up today and said, Coach, I'm playing Fredrin.
I'm not looking at any other heroes, despite the fact that, jungle hero pool right now is kind of huge, with very varying styles and varying ways to kind of dictate the team games. But Paquito, here in the middle lane, just going to be getting a little bit of a buzz onto, or rather a little bit of a harass onto Bulber, only to find himself harassed himself.
That's a technical knockout on Paquito, getting sent home early. The recall, allowing for massive rotations from Virtus.pro. They're sending over Pluto to check on Hotun. In the top lane, though, the gold lane, we see that Super Gorka is actually winning, pushing Fury up behind his wave.
Oh, I just realized also another thing that having a Cho really good for is you constantly deny Bulber's passive.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing they can do anymore.
Because you'll always be in your face.
Yeah. You have a free entry and a free exit anyway. So this is a Zetian who, in some sense, have got no passive.
Yeah, she's about 80% of a Zetian. All right. First turtle spawning. Lower corner of the map, first to the scene is Influence Rage. Pluto trying to put a beat on him. Oh, spots 3.
Oh, perhaps this time the first blood will go to the side of Virtus.pro instead. Yodun, he's currently very, very healthy, as now the final slash is just going to be going out and connecting down on the 2. Pluto finds himself down to the hands of Paquito. This is something that is very different this time, while the grab is just going to be coming in from the side of Gloom, latching on onto Paquito. He's almost dead, but he does have shields, and of course, finessed himself right out of that.
And here's what's painful. Bobert already pressed the Phoenix Fury, so that means any and all magic damage has been expended from Virtus.pro. So this puts them in a very bad position, very difficult early on. Influence Rage, apparently, they don't just have to rely on that single pick-off potential. They can just smother you, Abstract. Influence Rage can smother Virtus.pro in the early game.
So whatever it is for the sort of Influence Rage, with that 2 kills on their end, they can kind of play the long game in some sense. In fact, they kind of have to. Chan will definitely pop off in the mid stages of the game, but in the early stages, I'm actually kind of surprised at the fact that they managed to do that, exactly that.
They can just keep playing this way up until they feel like the scaling of their main 4 aren't enough, and then that's where they get the Harris to join in. Paquito cancels the other half of the Way of the Dragon. Here comes a Feathered Airstrike.
Yeah.
Both teams actually skittish.
It's not really interested in committing to that fight. It's more of like, get out of my face kind of thing. Influence Rage back at it again as they just go straight into the face of Virtus.pro. But the Fury of the Phoenix will be able to land onto Hotun, but he will walk away with that, no problems. But Pluto expanded the Revitalize just to get out of that.
Another nothing fight. That was literally just, as you said, get away from me, I don't want this. Influence Rage knows that they have to buy time for the Harith, but if anything, we saw a moment of him dropping the Zaman Force. So, yeah, Fury's not taking this line down. Fury wants to prove to Virtus.pro that, hey, what you did to the Harith yesterday was a one-off thing. We're picking this Harith. We believe that even if we already have another core in Chan on the Farsa, there's enough here for us to do with the Harith.
So it just takes a little bit more time for them to deal with, and Influence Rage doesn't want and doesn't allow Virtus.pro to take the aggressor role, right? As long as they have first dips, they will be strong enough. Oh, there we go. There is going to be the kick, and of course, the single out over to the side of Bad Cart. One person down already, and no more influence from the EXP for this upcoming turtle fight.
And that's another open and free turtle for Influence Rage. Is this not the pattern that we see Hotun play all series long? Like, he knows one of his main strengths as Fredrin, as a utility jungler, is control of these turtle pits, these lord pits. So he's just taking care of that. He's making the most of it. And now, is that right? Did I just see Chino build his Thunderbelt?
Chino...
Was that Chino?
I would like to believe so. I would like to believe so.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Relatively fast. So you should be able to scale pretty effectively with all those defenses coming in, and it just need to be the same thing. Just play together with Paquito and just be in your face all the time.
Oh, interesting response from a spread to a final slash by Chino down bottom. Okay, Fury of the Phoenix still well held. That was a Mountain Shocker, revealing everyone from Influence Rage. Still a question of when will Virtus.pro decide
to kind of pop off?
To clap back, yeah. Well, what are they waiting for? Way of the Dragon.
Only to always be the one that gets hit. They're mounting themselves a garrison and hoping that they will be able to hold out. But that's not going to be the way, because all these kicks are always finding themselves within of the artillery.
Abstract, even without Fury. Fury didn't leave the gold lane. He hasn't left the gold lane for the better part of 6 minutes now.
They don't even need him at this point.
They have 4 kills.
Yep.
So us questioning where this damage is coming from is invalid. Influence Rage are smothering Virtus.pro. Once again, there's enough between Chino, Hotun, Chan, and Paquito to threaten so many kills. 4 now, 6 minutes in. On Doryu, what is he thinking? He has Bad Cart with him.
And it doesn't seem like he have a lot of HP to work with. Half HP left, and it's going to be the grab to pull Chino a little bit closer, only to get Andoryu. Just one more hit, though, and now he will go down, and the turrets does not manage to execute either one of them.
That is Virtus.pro's first kill. Mind you, they did spend a duo to try and gank Chino there.
Just for Chino.
Luckily, all they lost was a top lane tier 1. And of course, maybe the turtle. So that means 100% of turtles go over to the Latin squad from Influence Rage. Oh, the kick by Paquito, forcing a response. Oh, 2 fights!
Oh, Hotun finds himself down, and in the bottom side, Paquito finds himself dead as well. Super Igorka took advantage of all of that chaos and takes the turtle down. So no 100% for Influence Rage anymore.
So now Virtus.pro clap back. We were waiting, and here we are satisfied. 7 minutes is when they do it. They get their kills, they get their first turtle, and they get their first push down bottom. Patience is a virtue that Virtus.pro decides to employ. Influence Rage now, they have to find a way to get Fury involved. And they're sending Fury away from the rest of Virtus.pro. When does it become Virtus.pro's turn to be the beatdown? When do they start chasing Influence Rage?
I think at this point in time, the upcoming Lord, that is where they will start to take up a fight, right? Andoryu at level 11, I think that is more or less ready to take up a fight against Influence Rage. As long as they have dominant river control and just keep Influence Rage within of their jungles and just hold out these lanes, I think that are pretty okay. They should be pretty happy about that. But with the first priority, definitely going to be T1 turret in the middle lane. But in the meantime, Pluto finds himself being the victims of Influence Rage aggression once again. There's absolutely nothing the Bad Cart could just possibly do here.
All right, 8 minutes in, even with Virtus.pro showing signs of life, showing a little bit of teeth. Influence Rage are implementing the same strat. We're going to smother whoever we can, whether it be a chunky hero in Pluto or maybe something that's a little more sustainable, soft, but eventually we'll kill him like Bad Cotton in the glue. This is Influence Rage's MO, but at some point, you're right, it's going to be diminishing returns. You can't just keep killing the glue and the Baksha and expect returns. You have to find some way. Beber, Andorio, or even Super Gorka, neither have yet fallen.
Yep, Revitalize has already been popped. No more Final Slash as well. As, of course, the both Lance of the Fury and Chino, both of them not exactly the healthiest, but they should be fine, as the Lord is only opening up in 10 seconds. So back again at it with the dance of the century for both of these two teams. We're coming and reaching into 9 minutes, where this is probably where things start to get scary. Since both teams have equal economy, it's all about these teams' power curve. When do they pop off?
And how they use that power spike.
Yes.
Can the right target be found by the kick? Can Chino Final Slash 2 or 3 dudes? To be honest, 4 or 5 is a long shot. That's a wish come true on a shooting star. But it's not going to happen because Virtus.pro are keeping themselves scarce. Look at how open they are. Look at the Purify still on Super Gorka. The passive on Bober.
Pluto is going to be the one that aggressed against Influence Rage this time. With Chino unavailable for the fight, this is one big CC coming in from Chino that is gone for good. The Lord is now going to be in the hands of Virtus.pro as they are completely having the dominance and priority over the Lord. It reset it once, but Chan joins in the fray. He did definitely use the Feather Airstrike to just push Super Igorka away. This is all the valuable time that they need as Fury drops down to the Summon Force, only to find himself currently stuck in a choke point, allowing Andorio to pick up a double kill.
Mind you, this whole time, Virtus.pro already spent their ults. So that fight lasted long enough for them to push over Influence Rage into that small avenue here near the orange buff. It's like Battle Thermopylae all over again. Spartans of Virtus.pro using that to their advantage despite them having less resources, and they win out, converting it to a Lord.
2.5k gold lead as well. This is the change that we wanted to see from Virtus.pro. Well, maybe not the change, but this is the turning point that we are looking out from the side of Virtus.pro, right? In the initial side, it kind of seems as though they are definitely having a little bit of problem trying to get themselves out of this well. But very well, they have got the Lord. This is going to get themselves a lot more Lord advantage. Middle lane definitely will go down.
Yeah, we are far from economic equilibrium now. Clearly, 3,000 gold over to Virtus.pro. A majority of that you can see in the gold lane. A good chunk of that you can see in the jungle as well. You know, Influence Rage have to protect Fury. They have to be careful where they put their core. There's a grab onto Paquito. He's going down.
He's going to go down as all the Zaman Force coming from the side. Fury tries to get himself away, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Chino is going to be the next one onto the chopping block. And Andorio suffers a bit too much pot shots coming from Chan.
That is the range difference between the Farsa and the Yi Sun Shin. Yes, Andorio has been having a great mid-game power spike, but there's only so much you can do in the face of those feathered airstrike salvos from Chan. But they have to defend still. Are 2 members of Influence Rage enough? No, they might lose this inhibitor.
Yep, T3 going down at 11 minutes. This is definitely gonna hurt a lot. That is a massive bonus for VP, especially since First Lord, you just generally want the exterior turrets. To go for the inhibitor turrets, those are massive.
Yep. Holy Defense is still standing on that bottom lane inhibitor, but the truth is Influence Rage now have permanent damage dealt to their base. Bleeding constantly is the top lane. They have to keep that. Oh my God, Bober!
The lethal initiate is a little bit too much for the Zetian to deal with.
Chan pops him from about a mile away.
That must be a blind out coming in from Chan.
Yo, Chan just listened to his inner voice saying, it's over here, he's over here, take him down. And that's Bober's first death, by the way. Mind you, he had no bounty on him. But the fact that this is the first time he dies 12 minutes in definitely gives Influence Rage some room to breathe.
He has his ultimate already. Oh, Andorio! He slides himself right out. Paquito is not able to just connect himself over to the side of Andorio at all. But in the meantime, their focus is on the Chino. No way out for our Chino at all. And now the rest of Influence Rage, they thought that they have control of their own jungle only to be shoved back home.
Oh, wow. Andorio forced a fight that Influence Rage wasn't ready to take by that flank, and now they're knocking on that bottom lane inhibitor, even mid. What a synchronized push here by Virtus.pro post-fight.
But I don't think that this is going to do too much over to the turrets. It did definitely chip off a little bit of that. But we do have the Bloodheads available in 5 seconds and Influence Rage. They gotta have to find a way to come back at this, right? Hotuni is level 14, that's not so bad. It's only 1 level away from Andoryu, but I'm honestly not too sure whether they should try to challenge this.
Influence Rage, I think their mind has already been made. Chan pops the Feather Strike, pushing away any would-be members of Virtus.pro to position inside their jungle. Pluto engages on the Paquito. Fury holding on. Still has his Zaman Force. A kick from Paquito, but no flicker. That's what's painful here. Earlier, there was an attempted flicker with the dragon, but I think Paquito got cold feet. Paquito pulled back and instead retreated. That's what resulted in Influence Rage here getting caught with a half-cocked plan. Like, they weren't ready. They weren't all fully committed to it.
There was a small, tiny little space between Paquito as well as Andoryu at a point in time. And I think that he has fully expended every single one of his skills, which is probably what I would believe. And the fact that he's got like 22 seconds on to flicker, that means he also don't have that at a point in time. So might as well just get out. Might as well just live for the defense.
Yep, they'll hold on to it. Luckily, they have a pretty solid defense. Chan works well with a high ground pressure. Fury, though, this is where I'm scared. Fury,
4 items.
Fury needs to commit a Zaman Force for him to be able to clear waves or even defeat the Lord. And now with his Feather Airstrike here, answered by the Furies of Phoenix, Virtus.pro going in!
It forces Chan to flicker backwards, and now Paquito has already lost more than half HP. Pluto is a little bit in a tough spot, but he's gonna be fine at all as the rest of members from the side of Influence Rage decides to fall back, and thus giving away the T3 down in the bottom lane, and eventually the T3 in the middle, because they have got a big Lord to deal with.
That's the problem here. Influence Rage, they already picked a fight, they already entertained Virtus.pro. Spent a good few resources, but no, luckily, Virtus.pro back out. They didn't have health. Virtus.pro also did not have any ults anymore. So Influence Rage lives. Clean defense. They keep their mid lane tier 3.
Another 3 more minutes to kind of play around with for Fury. He's already got 4 items, and within that 3 minutes, let's hope that he will be able to get a little bit more. Get himself the final item. I would like to believe it's Holy Crystal if he haven't gotten that yet.
He's got to have it now. If not, then all the more they should feel like they're in trouble. 15.5 minutes in. Chan topping the damage dealt rankings. Again, he's been amazing on this farsa. Might be one of the few reasons why they're still alive. Mount Shocker, Andoryu checking in on everybody. It's clear that Influence Rage don't want no smoke. Real quick, checking in. There's the Holy Crystal.
Holy Crystal and Divine Glaive.
And they just need one more. This could be anything. What is it?
Blood Wings. That could be it, right? To play a little bit defensively while staying alive in fights, I suppose. A dead DPS is no DPS.
Tranche.
Oh, with the crown.
A little extra, yeah, a little extra
lightning
here.
Lightning It's an either or here.
Now Chan picks up his Holy Crystal, so he's going to do extra more.
Oh, it's Chan that didn't get his Holy Crystal.
More extra damage on top of topping the rank, topping the charts.
I thought that Chan has already got a lot of damage in his kit already.
He could use more.
Now he has more.
He could use more because again, Pluto still survives these nothing engagements. Badcut also still survives getting a grab on. So I get the incentive for Chan to continue building extra damage.
With the lanes at the top lane and the bottom for Influence Rage out, the macro game ultimately is going to be the most difficult for Influence Rage to even get themselves back into this game.
It's not as if they were going well into this matchup against Virtus.pro macro-wise, because, again, you're looking at double global, right? You're looking at Zetian, and you're looking at Yusin Shin. But that's what will make Influence Rage's win all the more sweet. If they can turn this around, they're down 3,000 gold. Their base literally in ruins, only one inhibitor left. So they have to make this work. Lord,
they sent the Farsa?
They kept the Farsa there. He can wings by wings in. Still has a Feather Strike. Pluto gets blasted. Paquito spotted here by Andoryu.
There's a little bit too much damage coming in from the side of Influence Rage's Fury, but none of these two teams are too interested in just pushing right in, because what Virtus.pro is waiting for is that slow push, down from the bottom lane because Fossa definitely wants to focus onto the middle lanes, right? He don't want his T3 to go down just yet. So now Virtus.pro, they found an opportunity because there's just way too much creeps for the Fossa to handle. As such, the Fury on the field is just going to be popping right out. The Lord is just going to be down to 131 HP. As such, Endorio finds himself the Lord kill. Fury had not a lot of HP to kind of work with, as the stick stake is just going to be right onto Hoden. Influence Rage only loses Pakitu, as now the rest of members from Virtus.pro collapse themselves onto Hodun. No more frontliners, and it's all just left with Chino, Chan, and Fury.
It's very difficult for Influence Rage to get anything more out of that trade. Yes, they found Supirigorka, but their base was constantly being barraged by Virtus.pro's waves. So they had to split. They had to think of two ways to respond to two very urgent causes. One, the Lord. Two, the team fight. The base was secondary. Just only when the fight was ended did they send someone over. Oh my God, Andorio! Where did that damage come from?
Even I didn't see that.
Was that from
Was it
Fury?
Chan?
Was that from Chan? Was that from...
He doesn't have his feathered airstrike
Was
right
that from
now.
Chino? Yeah, maybe.
I would like to believe that it's Chan.
So now, Influence Rage have to defend.
And now Virtus.pro doesn't want to fight because Endorio's HP was just way too low.
And now we're back to square one. Influence Rage defends a third Lord.
Oh, the final slash actually did manage to land on the bad card, but this is only going to be something, the catalyst for Virtus.pro to go straight in. As such, they are going to be losing the T3 turn, while in the meantime, Charlie's also out. So one of the artillery is gone, but Baby Fury is going to be next. Yes, he will be. But Influence Rage, they're not going to be stopping. They're persisting. As now, the way of Dragon is just going to be landing right on top of the bad card. It doesn't seem like the rest of the members from the side of Pakitu is just going to be working right out. As such, he gets busted down. Virtus.pro, all 5 men remains, leaving Hoden left. Maniac coming in from Endorio as he sees the game.
Not quite the vengeance they were looking for in the Savage. That was scored by Chan game 2, but I think this is just a wee bit sweeter. They are the first team out of Group B to make it to the next stage of the wild cards. Virtus.pro takes the series 2-1.
First seed of Group B. And unfortunately for Influence Rage, with 1 series won and 1 series lost, they're now going to be going down over to the second half of the bracket.